Hello guys, welcome to my experience, my video. Big Skyblock YouTubers have recently talked about a new player experience, and I'm a genuine new player and I'm kind of here to cover how I feel. I'm gonna go over some first impressions, the good, bad and the ugly, and kind of show how new players actually perceive Skyblock. Maybe, hopefully, this feedbacks reaches anybody with any power, I hope. It's been a rough 150, you can say. I kind of want to go over, I have a little checklist there I might be able to show. Here's a tiny overview of what I've written down there. But my main problem is essentially any NPC or anything. There's a lot of them. Oh, I gotta grab my titanium drill, it's probably done now. For example, I didn't even know gold essence was a thing before yesterday. Which probably somebody should tell me, any NPC or anything. And if there is one, it's not very clear. It's not the worst thing ever, it's just very annoying that these small things that might help me expedite my commissions that takes literally forever to get to Heart of the Mountain 7. It's not a big problem, but it slows down my progress, and I'm gonna do it at one point. Why not just tell me? Why do I have to look it up and see if I might have missed something? And in the same boat, I've watched 10 mining guides and nobody told me about gold essence. So they probably forgot it too. It's just these small obscure things. It's very annoying that people don't tell you. And in the same boat, hot potato bugs, didn't even know they were a thing until I got one in, what was it, floor 7? It's horrible. It's not put this in a nice way. Yeah, it's not more so that I don't mind them again, it's just they should tell you about them. Golden gobbler here. Get him. That's kind of my gripe with some of those obscure mechanics. I have some more in the same boat. Yeah, shards. Didn't know they existed until Galatea. Or I've heard of them, but I didn't know what they did. Why is that a thing? There's probably a lot of people who don't do foraging until they're around my level. And then they suddenly realize they could sped up a lot of things by 10-20%, and it just feels like it's a weird gatekeeping thing. Sorry for the gameplay, I've turned off my brain now. Yeah, it's not it feels like a weird gatekeeping thing that people just don't tell you about. Also, they should put more emphasis on the Abbey phone. It's a lifesaver in a lot of things. You can put it on cat for 500 mil. So if you want to do NPC flips, there's a lot of stuff that Abbey phone helps with that also you just don't get told. And it's not, I'm not necessarily that salty about small stuff, but it adds up in a big end, right? For example, the potato books, they're not that necessary, but you should have been told from the start, oh, by the way, here's some potato books. You can put 10 of them on your gear, and it will help you out at least a lot in dungeons, since everything scales exponentially. And sometimes they just tell you too late, if you know what I mean. Like Galatea, for example. I don't know why that knowledge has to be hidden until then. I know you can't capture stuff, and that's probably why, but not everybody's an Iron Man. It's weird. So what I kind of suggest in the end is like do like small simple stuff, like just tell you earlier, add a new chapter into the mines, for example. We can like just checklist off these stupid inconveniences you should have known about. And for example, the hex should just be a thing in your inventory from the get-go. I don't get why you shouldn't like have it at all times. Kind of at the same time, I do like understand that you don't want to like overwhelm your players, but people are more interested in more content than unknown content, I guess. Like at the end of the day, we're playing an MMO, throw it in my face. I don't know if a lot of new players feel like the same thing, but that's how I feel at least. As I said, I've spent so many hours right now on the wiki and YouTube. Probably like 10% of my playtime at least. Probably more, I have no way to tell. And I do get like outsourcing stuff. Wiki is fine, it's nice. There's a lot of stuff I wish it showed. Kinda like the hex. Like it doesn't show possible enchants, it doesn't show majority enchants. So the way you like figure stuff out is, for example, go to the bazaar and just check out the most expensive ones. And even that is stupid because other players do make mistakes. For example, also other YouTubers does make mistakes. For example, the golden essence. I'm saying for example a lot. But yeah, the golden essence. It gives you like more healer class XP. Who in this world knows that? Like, it's crazy. There should be some type of guidance towards it, at least. Like, it feels like the only way to play this game properly. Oh my god, I forgot to put in my freaking mithrils. Taste mithrils. He's gonna get mad at me. Whatever. I do feel like the game does like some aspects of progression right. For example, the garden is a very great place for progression because it like clearly shows where to start, where to go, and what your goal is. You have farm level. You don't get new crops until you hit a certain farm level, which kind of makes you level your collection. You get new recipes from the collection, etc, etc. And all of the NPCs are like within 50 blocks of the barn. So you never like suddenly find an NPC out in the jungle that gives you like some special essence that maxes one of your skills easier, if you know what I mean. Even though it's kind of isolated, it's very intuitive at least. And I think I don't think MMOs should be inherently intuitive, but they need like some sort of understanding of the entire leveling system, right? Because every skill has like these separate micro mechanics, and you never like really get the grasp of the game design before you like actually search everything up, if you know what I mean. And I think it's too intuitive in the big picture, even though it's not horrible. It's just it's hard to get into. Yeah, and the same kind of goes for some tiny rabbit egg here. The same kind of goes for foraging as well. It's very intuitive. You like fly through the park pretty fast, and then you get to Galtea and you get a chapter, and it kind of like takes you through every part of progression that you kind of need to understand. So I finally got that one. Nice. For example, if I go to chapter 1 here, Swoop will teach you the basics of foraging Galtea. Very simple. And then you learn fusion, then you learn hunting, and then you just do simple foraging. You learn daily Agatha. It's very simple, and I do kind of like see the argument against having like such a simple system. But at the end of the day, not really. I think skill progression should have tutorials for them. You can kind of like divide like a skill into two parts. You have like the understanding of the mechanic, and then it's like the efficiency of the mechanic, right? The tutorials don't teach you how to route optimally for trees or hunting, right? So even though some salty people might say like, oh, tutorials make everything easy, it really doesn't like help at all, because people will learn it anyways, just in a harder way, which like rewards nobody anyways. And to glaze like tutorials a bit more, I do think okay, this is gonna sound very bad, but just stay with me here. I do think fishing progression is actually kind of good. I don't think fishing as like a skill is good. I do think the fishing progression is nice. Like Backwater Bayou and Lotus Atoll are very nice mid-game places to like learn game mechanics. They have tutorials. It's very intuitive. I think those places are well designed. I think the entire game should be more like those places, even though people hate them because they're kind of trash for like late game fishing. Actually, fishing up until Lotus Atoll is nice. Like Crimson Isle fishing is horrible. There's no tutorial for that. That's just freeballing it. Crimson Isle is like one of the worst offenders of bad explaining, bad tutorials. You kind of realize it when you get to Combat 22 and you like try going there thinking, oh, I finally unlocked this new place. There's a lot of content here. I can finally, you know, have some fun. But then all of the mobs have 10 to 20 times the HP, do double the damage, and you're thinking, how am I supposed to kill these guys? And then the game haven't even explained magical power to you. So you're sitting there like an idiot thinking, oh my god, I gotta fix my gear, get your dungeon gear, you get carried to floor 5 and 6, you still do no damage, and then you search up a tutorial, and somebody, instead of those slop gear tutorial videos, finally shows you, oh, you need magical power, oh, you need max redstone collection, and then you need to do a random quest down a redstone mine, then you need to pay this guy like 50 million, and then you can finally maybe get to 700 magical power and do the Crimson Isle. I'm a hypocrite, I have a lot of accessory slots I haven't even used. But I like combat is kind of dead for me right now. I don't find any joy in doing combat. I just want to do nucleus runs until I can like buy my way out of combat with a either like a E-man carry or a Hyperion at this point. But even like dungeons is also like super unintuitive and hard for new players. I do not get like the design philosophy behind those places at all. It's horrible. I know I'm being very like crass here, but there's like no better way to put it, to be honest. There should be like big glaring red text the second you enter a dungeon lobby that says get mods. You cannot do anything without mods here. And I do get that since like Hypixel is a pretty big company, they can't like endorse mods since there's so many bad actors out there, but they're needed. You can't play without mods, it's impossible. And also it's the same as Crimson Isle in the dungeons. You get into dungeons, right? You think, oh, this is gonna be pretty fun. It's like randomly generated. You don't have any mods on, you're just running around like a headless chicken. Suddenly there's like this pink text mob just one-shots you and you're thinking, how did it do that? I have like Wise Dragon armor and a aspect of the dragon. And then you search up a tutorial and you realize, oh, you need mods and you need at least like 200-300 magical power to start on dungeons. And I'm not saying it's hard to get, I'm just saying, why doesn't like the game have big signs showing you need magical power to enter, you need mods to enter. You're like gatekeeping new players from joining the game. And the same goes for Slayers as well. You need high MP on Slayers. Like, I mean, Not in the start. Let me just pop this in here. You don't need a high MP in the start, but the second you get to like tier 3 or 4, you need some MP. And don't get me started on like Event Slayers. Oh my god, like shout out to Fear5S for that like Event Slayer video. But it's the most horrid like game design I've ever seen. I really enjoy game design. I love watching game design. I love like different design philosophies. And I think Hypixel Skyblock is kind of like just walking around headless right now. It doesn't feel like they have like any clear goals, because Event Slayer is kind of like the biggest example of like overcommitting to the community. And okay, it sounds kind of weird because all of the community says it's bad, but like the reason is Event Slayer is such a high investment thing right now, right? And they think people will be enraged if they do something about it, first off. And the second thing is, like, the progression of Event Slayer kind of requires Event Slayer progression. It's kind of paradoxical. And the worst thing about it is they'll never do anything about it, mainly not because of the hype, like the E-man carries. It's because Terminator, the best weapon, is locked behind it. If they make it easy, they have to like nerf Terminator as well. They're never gonna like make it easier just because of that. For me, it kind of like shows where the development team is at kind of right now. They're kind of like fixing their mistakes by what's it called? You guys gave me some tips in the comments, by the way. I'm kind of lost here. Kind of freeballing. I don't know if titanium drill is better than mithril drill. I kind of need a powder anyways, but I'm trying to speed through the commissions. Yeah, I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments. Also, while you guys are in the comments, please subscribe. I'll put the first 500 subscribers on my private island, and I'll let them stay there forever. It costs literally nothing, and I'm gonna be so happy if you guys do it, so pretty please. But yeah, it shows kind of like where the development team is stuck at right now. And I think they need to just take a year off and like revamp the entirety of some systems. Like, I don't need, I'm saying but I'm not endgame, so I'm not the best guy to speak about this. But and I have a lot to do for 1 year, so maybe it isn't. Yeah, I'm not a good spokesperson for this, but I'm telling my thoughts anyways. That's what this video is. They need to take a year off, or at least half a year, and just fix like some base progression things. You need to have better progression in between like Heart of the Mountain 3 and 7. So I think you need better progression in early fishing. It needs to be redone like entirely. Late game fishing, just redo everything. Like fishing is a horrible concept right now. It's like a mix of combat and AFKing. I don't know why that's a real thing. I'm saying all this from a new player perspective, of course, because I don't mind doing this, but I would never ever in my life recommend to like my friend who plays like normal video games, not MMOs, to ever play Minecraft Hypixel Skyblock, because he would never do this grind and enjoy the game. He would probably just get off. This just isn't fun, to put it bluntly. I can live with it. I'm not gonna recommend this to anybody. And that's kind of how Skyblock is right now. Like, it kind of caters to its already existing players, which I don't think it's too bad, but it's dying, and it's not gonna keep too many players anymore. It doesn't need to like reinvent the wheel per se. It just needs to, you know, get up with the times, fix the old systems. Because like, I think he would enjoy nucleus runs. I enjoy the concept of nucleus runs. That's why I'm doing this in the first place. But I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This is not fun. Some grinds are needed if the payoff is there. but the payoff for me is just access to another grind. That's fun, if you know what I mean. I'm getting there. It's gonna take me a lot of hours more. The problem isn't the content itself, if that makes sense. It's more like the barrier of getting there. And that's kind of like my whole cause here. The barrier for some stuff is very weird, and magic power isn't bad. Just tell me about it. Also, that goes for like 80% of the mechanics. Gold essence, just tell me about it. Jesus. Tell me about potato books. Give me a guide that tells me, oh, by the way, you can potato book. And put them at the entry or besides the blacksmith and the dungeon hub. That's everything you need to do. It's not like that deep. And I'm not saying it's very hard to like find info about these things, right? The reason I'm saying it is mostly because guides and like the wiki and stuff, the wiki doesn't tell you, but like YouTube guys, they will often like just forget it, and of course they'll forget it. It's like a small thing. He was a leech. Anyways, I'm exploding. What was I saying again? And here's kind of like where I'm gonna get controversial. Yeah, I think the game needs more content, like the Rift and like the upcoming Safari that's in alpha right now, where the game kind of isolates. Anyways, it kind of like the game creates its own arenas where you can't buy yourself in, but you need experience and time to get there. And I'm not saying like Heart of the Mountain grind where you do one commission over and over. I'm saying, what's a good example? I'm saying, for example, a different type of mechanic that benefits only from that type of mechanic. How can I explain this? I'll explain it. I'll explain it this way. The game should have like a different island that benefits itself, but the only way it benefits itself, it's giving itself more efficiency. Okay, that doesn't even make sense. Let me give a direct example. Let's add a new fishing island called Deep Water Docks, for example. In this fishing island, you can like set out on like voyages where you go to either like just deep waters or like a special island or something, or random generated island, and you get like different types of fishes when you go on voyages, right? Those fishes either give you a special currency when you like butcher them. Let's say we'll call it seashells, and you can either butcher them for seashells or items, right? And the better items, the more seashells, etc., etc. You cannot like use items to get seashells. You can only use the fish you fish up, right? And those seashells, you can upgrade your special rod that you can only use in the deep water, or your like boat or your crew, your different stat bonuses or whatever. And the way you like integrate a functioning like economy into this is you give the items usage in other skills, like for example combat or mining. Like one of the fishes, you can drops item that you can eat and it gives 5 mining spread, you can eat it 4 times or whatever, something like that, right? And I'm not saying like make it entirely isolated. Like you should be able to buy some upgrades and shards and like the basic stuff that every other skill has. But what you shouldn't be able to do is like buy the best rod, buy the best upgrades, buy the essence or the seashells to max out the crew. And this kind of forces people to, if you want to actually make money using this method, then you need to like invest time in it, right? And it shouldn't make more money than other methods. It should make as much money as that specialization requires. You can kind of like compare it to like getting a degree in real life, or, okay, sorry, this is gonna trigger some people, or a job. because of course a grocery store job is not gonna like pay super well. You don't need a degree for it. But a assistant manager at the grocery store gets better paid because he's worked there longer and he's specialized. Or a lawyer needs a specialization via degree to then get the job and then get paid for doing his job. And that's how it should go in Minecraft right now. But right now you can just almost always, there's some exceptions, just buy yourself to the top. The second there's like a big new money making method, people will just buy themselves the best gear. They're instantly like the best grinders, and since they grind it faster, they'll drive the prices down, their competition down, until it's only profitable if you have that setup. Or very profitable. Profitable is kind of loosely used there. Because the game does mimic real life economy, right? The bazaar prices are like based on social perception and NPC prices only. And when people are lazy, you can not be lazy and get that item people don't want to grind, and then suddenly like you get money for it. That's like the entire concept of the bazaar, right? So that's kind of my whole talking points, to be honest. I kind of drifted down from the camera, I just realized. Okay, sorry guys. This was supposed to be like a video about new game experience, but this is more like my entire perception of the game as of now. And I'm sorry it kind of turned out that way, but I'm getting kind of infuriated with some of the design choices, because I really want to like the game, and I do like the game. I'm gonna keep playing it. If you guys have any suggestions or wishes, I'll gladly do it. If you guys want me to do fishing, I'll freaking do fishing for the rest of my life. I don't care. But I truly believe this game is great. Just needs some more time in the oven, to put it that way. Short summary, I just think you need like lower skill barrier for a lot of things, and make it less tedious. And some other things like, yeah, I'm saying half the mountain, make it less tedious. Early game fishing, less tedious. Just add some more fun stuff. Give me longer commissions. Give me like a 10 times commissions that gives 15 times XP, you know what I mean? That's all I'm asking for. And for like the other stuff I talked about, like the micro concepts, the essence, the potato books, just make it more obvious. That's everything I need to know, actually. I haven't even talked about like endgame weapons, which is another point. That's kinda super annoying. That's not a real term, but speaking of terms, the requirements are just annoying. It's not even hard. You just pay a guy 90 million to carry you through the entire thing and you're done. And the same goes for Hyperion, you just need a shit ton of money. Making money in this game is like the most boring thing ever. I don't have a grudge with money. Oh. Good. I forgot to feed him. Oops. Yeah, making money in this game is like very tedious. That's kind of why I'm doing mining right now, because I just want to get to nucleus, because I think it looks fun and I kind of want to do them, make money. I can like sit and flip books all day and I can get 30-40 million an hour at least. It's the most tedious thing ever. And that's also why I despise the Hyperion with my whole heart. It's just money, it's nothing else. Floor 7 is not a hard requirement to get to. It's just horror getting it. You need like 1.6 billion. Well, I was actually supposed to close out here, but I just kind of get lost in the sauce. Yeah, make more weapons. We don't need like people carrying 2 of the same weapon. It's stupid philosophy. Just fix it. Add another weapon that does something better. Make specialized weapons. Don't like come here with with Hyperion that does everything, and the Term that just does insane amounts of DPS and nothing else. If you guys ever add a dungeonized fishing, please just make a better fishing game. Make a little mini game or something. Make it not combat with AFKing. Dude, I love that. That'd be so fun. Anyways, that's it for me today. That's my little TED Talk. Feel free to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And please argue with me in the comments. I love arguing. Have a nice day, guys.